Hi everyone. Today's class is going to be one that I did when I was feeling like pretty low energy and really tired, not good sleep. So kind of a lazy yoga class, something a little bit different where we're focusing just more on intuitive movement. We have one hand on our chest and one on our belly, and we're just breathing here, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. I'm going to set my feet up so my big toes are together, my heels are slightly apart, interlace my fingers, press down through the palms, inhale the arms up. Exhale, bringing the palms down, past the heart, past the belly button, inhale. Exhale. Inhaling them up and trying to bring my arms behind my ears, opening the chest up, palms past the heart, past the belly button. This can be a really good heart opener. Exhaling, folding down, palms to either side of the feet. Inhale, we're going to look up in front of us, lifting up onto the tips of our fingers. Exhaling, fold again. Grabbing onto opposite elbows, we're just going to shift the weight from the heels of our feet to the balls of our feet. Gently just feeling the stretch moving up our hamstrings and the backs of our legs and using the weight of our arms to draw ourselves down. We're going to take our peace fingers and our thumbs and grab onto our big toes. Inhale, look up. Exhaling, folding forward. We're going to push the shoulders as far away from the ears as possible, so we're sliding them down the back. And we are pulling our arms to either side as we draw them down. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, folding and bringing the palms of the hands underneath the feet until the toes touch the wrist. Again, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, elbows out to either side, pulling with the strength of our arms, but also, again, gently shifting balls of our feet to the heels. Releasing our hands, we're going to walk the hands forward and walk the feet back into downward dog. So coming into a comfortable downward dog here, it doesn't have to be all the way open or as extended as you can be. You can start to play with it a little more when you're there, bending your knees, alternating from side to side. Starting to wake up our hips and our hamstrings. Inhaling, looking forward. I'm going to slide my feet back a little farther so I can come into plank. Breathing here. And pushing back into downward dog. I'm adjusting my feet a little bit here, but again, I'm pressing the hips up towards the ceiling, heels down towards the mat, inhaling, coming forward into plank, breathing here, and exhaling, pushing back into downward dog. I'm going to stretch the right leg up towards the ceiling, bending at the right knee. And I'm going to sweep this leg forward into a runner's lunge. So sinking deep into the hips, I'm lifting my head up, lifting the chin up, rolling the shoulders back, and just feeling the stretch right here. Stepping back into downward dog. And we're going to inhale the left leg up, bending at the left knee, opening up the hip. And we're going to swing that left leg forward into a runner's lunge on the other side. And same, we're pressing into the tips of our fingers and just sinking our hips into this stretch. Step the feet back into downward dog. Breathing here. And inhaling, I'm going to come forward into plank, so I'm stepping the feet back a little bit. And I'm coming down onto my knees. I'm doing modifications here, so lower down onto your belly. Come up into baby cobra. And come back into child's pose. This was really the only pose I wanted to do this whole practice. I wanted to come into child's pose as often as possible. So coming up onto my hands and knees, I'm moving through cat and cow stretch. I'm arching my back and then rounding my back. Inhaling, pressing into my hands, arching my back, looking up. Exhaling, rounding my back, tucking my tailbone under. And coming back into child's pose. You're going to see a theme of me just really loving this pose right now. And it's such a good pose to move into when you're feeling tired, sleepy, lazy. I'm coming all the way down onto my belly, inhaling into baby cobra. And I'm just going to bend the left knee and draw the heel towards my butt. So you're going to feel a stretch just from being right here. I'm pressing my other palm into the ground underneath the elbow to give me a lot of stability, and stretching out through the right toes and releasing that leg. I'm going to bend at the right knee, and you can see the placement of my hand better on this side, but the left hand is placed close to the chest, drawing the heel in towards the back of our body. And exhaling, releasing. Interlacing my fingers behind me, I'm going to use them to draw myself up and lifting up through the chest. Placing my hands down on the mat. And what are we doing again? Child's pose. So drawing those hips back, pressing into our palms. Breathing right here. We're going to come onto our hands and knees again. And we're going to stretch the left leg back. I'm going to adjust the leg now that I can see it so that I'm running parallel to the ground and I'm at hip height. And I'm going to stretch out the right hand. I had to really think about it if I really wanted to do that. So stretching forward a little bit, and now I'm pressing the right foot back. Again, see, I'm going to try to adjust it when I notice it that it's a little high, pushing out through the heel, and now I'm stretching out through the left fingers. So your aim is to run it parallel to the ground and no higher than hip level. So bringing our knees back together. See how I thought about going into child's pose? But we are coming into a forward fold. So grabbing on to opposite elbows, we are going to roll ourselves back up into standing, inhaling arms up, and exhaling hands behind our head, opening the chest up, a little bit of a back bend, and taking our hands behind us. Hands are going on our lower back as we take a back bend, a little bit of an arch. You can slide your hands down onto your thighs if you want a deeper stretch here, but this feels great because you're getting to support your lower back, which is perfect. Folding forward, we're going to grab onto our elbows, but behind our legs, and working towards a straight leg. And it's okay if a straight leg doesn't come as long as you are feeling a stretch wherever you find yourself. We're going to sweep the fingertips along the ground, bending our knees, coming into Utkatasana briefly, and then hands to the heart. Placing my hands on my shoulders, I'm just going to roll the shoulders back and opening them up, releasing any tightness, and then rolling in the opposite direction. And stretching over to one side, and it can be whichever side you feel comfortable starting with. And then stretching to the other side, trying to keep nice and long and keeping there lots of space between my ears and my shoulders. So here I have my fingers interlaced except for the index. I'm going to stretch over. And this helps give you a little bit more length and a little bit more alignment in your spine. You see me adjust my shoulders, draw them down my back, and then over to the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the hands. So opening the palms up, we're releasing the head back towards the back of our neck and chin towards our chest. Inhaling, opening up and looking up, and exhaling, releasing our chin to our chest. Gently rolling over to one side, hand on the outside of the head, pressing through the palm of our hand. And chin over to the other side, and we're stretching on the opposite side. Again, really pressing out through the palm of our hand. So releasing our hands to either side, I'm going to walk slowly up to the front of our mat. And I'm just resetting myself here, resetting my breath. Inhaling the arms up and exhaling, folding forward, hands to either side. Inhale, tips of our fingers. Exhale, stepping our feet back. And we're coming right down onto our knees, a modified version of Chaturanga. And exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling into upward dog. And exhale, drawing our hips back into child's pose and then downward dog. And again, because we haven't spent a ton of time in downward dog, I still want this to be playful. So we're bending our knees, alternating from side to side. Pressing into the palms of our hands, pushing the ground away from us. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, coming down to our knees. And lowering down onto the belly. Inhaling, baby cobra. Exhaling, drawing our hips back into child's pose. And then back up into downward dog. So this is a modified version of sun salutations. And so it's definitely a more relaxed version to go into. So coming forward, lowering down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, drawing our hips back. Child's pose. And let yourself breathe. Let the bellies get full. Pressing gently into the palms of our hands and reaching the hips back. Inhaling, coming back down onto our bellies. We're going to spread the legs a little farther apart so the knees are on the outside edges of the mat, grabbing onto the backs of our ankles or maybe the tops of our feet. Inhaling, lifting up, upward facing bow. Exhaling, releasing down. I like to bring the heels in and then exhale, release them all the way out, looking over to the right or the left side, letting your body completely relax here. Inhaling, lifting back up, using the strength in the legs to pull your arms back and lift your body up. And now turn and face the other side. Relax yourself. Relax all the muscles in your body here. Interlace your fingers. Draw your chest up. Bring the legs up and together, engaging our core here. And exhaling, bringing our hands together, grabbing onto opposite elbows and back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling, again, keeping the core engaged, and exhaling, hands to either side. Let's draw back into downward dog. And again, anytime I go into downward dog, you can also go into child's pose. Let's inhale the right leg up, bending at the right knee. Let's come into king pigeon. I love this pose. It's such a good stretch, and again, like a nice lazy stretch too. So folding forward, stacking our forearms on top of each other, resting the head down on our arm. Breathing here. There's lots you can do here, but it's also good to just feel the weight of your body pressing down on your leg, opening up your hip really gradually, focusing on your breath here. Again, your breath is more important than any posture. So ensuring that you're taking deep and full breaths is more important than any of it. Lifting ourselves up, we're going to bend at the knee. And again, you can reach your hand back here if you want to. But again, because I'm low energy today, I'm not going to. Release the foot back out onto the mat. And let's step back into downward dog. Lifting the left leg up, bending at the left knee, opening up the hip. And let's draw that left knee in. And we're folding forward. I was so ready to lay down here. I just couldn't wait to get into this pose. And again, we're focusing on our breath. Our back is nice and long. Our shoulders are relaxed. See if you can relax your face here. So run your tongue through the inside of your jaw and your cheeks, pressing into the palms of your hands. And we're going to bend this knee too, looking up. And again, each side is different. The other side, my hips are definitely more square to the mat, and this side, not so much. Pressing into the tips of my toes, I am going to step back into downward dog here. And I'm going to slowly walk my feet up into standing, grabbing onto opposite elbows, letting myself hang. And again, shifting the weight from side to side, coming down into a nice wide-legged squat. trying to get my balance here and just adjust myself. All right, palms together. And our elbows are in between our knees. Rolling our shoulders down our chest, lifting up through, rolling our shoulders down our back, lifting up through the chest. And we are going to twist. So we're reaching back to bind. We're stretching the arm forward and around the knee. Other arm reaches back to grab onto our fingertips. And we can look up, we can look forward, and then we release. Other side, reaching back. Fingers are interlacing here. And we're looking wherever feels most comfortable for our necks. Releasing our hands, palms come down. We lift our hips up. And we're slowly rolling ourselves back up. Inhale, arms up and hands to the heart. So here's where we're going to stop for right now, love.